and I'll be more than happy to be able to help you. As a thank you for attending today's webinar, we're offering everyone an exclusive 30% discount off of any of the courses we have available in our marketplace from today's host author, GC Learning Services. After the event, we'll be emailing everyone the discount code so you can take advantage of the savings. We'll also include a link to today's webinar recording that we'll post on our YouTube channel. I also wanted to mention that Coggno has a robust training university solution available to each of you at no cost. The Training University makes it easy for your staff to find training they need and a breeze for your training staff to manage employee training. Some of the many features of the Training University include the ability to curate your own library of training to make available to your staff. You can even upload your own internal training documents. Your staff can send a request to your assigned training manager, which can be approved or declined. Your training manager can also assign specific courses to users. The Training University comes with full tracking and reporting capability, and you can save up to 30% off of all training courses from the Coggno Marketplace. So again, this is available to you with no upfront costs. Simply email us or leave a message in the chat feature of the GoToMeeting panel. Should be on the right-hand side of your screen. And I'll send you information and get you all set up. In addition to courses from our host author today, GC Learning Services, we also have thousands of courses in virtually every business topic available in our marketplace, including topics such as human resources, safety, software, business management, and soft skills training, just to name a few of the topics available. So be sure to check out our website to search the options. It's with great pleasure today that our host author is Cheryl Powell from GC Learning Services. GC Learning Services was established in 1996 and has provided B2B custom training solutions to organizations of all sizes, as well as government agencies, educational institutions, and best-selling authors. They have established themselves as a leader in instructional design and e-learning with their high level of customer service, high level of quality, and attention to detail and affordable pricing. GC Learning Services' main niche is designing e-learning courses for soft skills and software application training, which includes modules with professional voice narration, flash animation, and royalty-free music and graphics. Their service is an end-to-end, one-stop shopping solution to meet your organization's training and development needs. Beginning with the needs analysis and design document phase and ending with a certification assessment. Their goal is to ensure the highest level of learner retention rates while ultimately increasing the client's return on investment. So it is with great pleasure that we welcome Cheryl Powell today.
Thank you so much, Kat. Welcome to the pain of work, setting yourself free. In this webinar, The Pain of Work, Setting Yourself Free, we will focus on the 4 pain zones of the human body that are most susceptible to office work. We have the head zone, the neck and shoulder zone, the back and leg zone, and the tummy zone. Everyone today will walk away with a pain zone safety plan worksheet, which you should have received prior to the webinar today. And what we'll be doing is filling that out as we go along. We will be looking at the pain zones that give you trouble, a self-analysis of the list of stressors and or reasons why you have those pains, a stretch schedule, which includes phone apps or software download selections, 2-week results to add to record daily improvement, mental and physical health overall, and for business owners and managers and supervisors, we have a special section for you for creating a pain-free workplace for employees and a 1-month diary to record any increases in productivity and profits. I'd like to start off with a little poll. If everybody could please respond according to the number in the chat area. Which one of these statements most describes your pain situation at work? If I had less pain, I would get much more work done. If I had less pain, I would be in a much better mood. If I had more support and resources, I think I would be able to better manage my pain. Or 4, if I had less pain, I could work up to 10 hours per day and even overtime on Saturdays. Go ahead and enter your number in the chat area. We got some 2s. It definitely affects your physical and your mental health. So I understand the 2s. I'm glad we didn't have any 4s. We didn't have any 4s, right? Because that would scare me. If we had some 4s, I was going to refer you to my work-life class coming up, my work-life balance class. All right, so let's go back. And let's go through the actual zones, because you have to know the zones so that you can label your pain zones on page 1 of your worksheet. So we'll go through all of that right now, and let me just make sure nobody else signed in. Okay, all right, good. Okay, so what are the 4 pain zones? So again, we have neck and shoulder, then we have the back and the legs, the head zone, and the tummy zone. Now we're going to review the symptoms for each of these shortly, but first, can anyone guess what zone carpal tunnel would fit in? Anybody? Anything that we do today, you can just type right into the chat area. Let's see if anybody can guess it. I'll give you a second. Carpal tunnel. Oh, there we go. Okay, looks like Kathy knows her stuff. It's definitely the neck and shoulders. A lot of people do not realize that the hand, the wrist, and the arm is directly connected to our shoulder pain and our neck pain, so it is all connected. Very good, Kathy. All right, so we answered our question, and now we're ready to go into the objectives exit this way. So really quickly, we'll just go through what we're planning on completing during this session. The pain zone, or zones that give you the most trouble, we're going to self-analyze today. So we want to really try and figure out what the stressors are. We want to come up with some type of stretch schedule before we leave today, all right? And then we also want to review the diary so that we know how to record our results. For business owners, supervisors, and managers, remember that there's a diary for you as well, and we've also included a bonus PDF in the resources for this webinar for you as well. So it'll give you some ideas about how to create a pain-free workplace for your employees. All right, so let's go into the symptoms. The head zone, involves the eyes. A lot with the eyes, right? So we have irritated eyes, we can't focus, blurred or double vision, they're dry, sensitive to light, migraines or headaches, and then even in some cases eye disease, nearsightedness, which has been linked medically to an increased risk of glaucoma. And then the neck and shoulder zone We have pain in the temples, neck, shoulders, or back. We have the neck and spine working really hard to support the head, and where we don't find ourselves hunched over like the woman on slide 1, right? And then we have the pain in the fingers and the wrist and elbows. So sometimes you'll have that numbness or tingling. And then when we look at the back and legs, it's that pain that you might experience from sitting for a long period of time in the lower back, numbness in the feet, or poor circulation and sciatica. That's where the pain shoots from the back down to the back of the leg. And then we have the tummy zone, where sitting for long periods of time and not moving can cause digestive issues and even urinary tract infections. Okay, so now that you're familiar with the zones and the symptoms, it's time for us to jump to our worksheet. Now again, with the worksheet, you can write, if you have it printed already, you can write on the paper. But the PDF that you received also has fields that you can type into. So it's interactive. So it's up to you how you want to do it. But right now we're going to take a minute and let everybody label their pain zones on page 1 of the worksheet that causes you the most stressor. The most stressors. So go ahead and take a moment and do that now. And then we'll get a poll, and then we'll move on to the self-analysis on page 2. Okay, so let's take a poll of how many people have pain and in what zone. So go ahead and type in the chat area your areas that cause you the most pain, and let's see what similarities or differences we can see. Neck and shoulders, okay. Lisa's got neck and shoulders and wrist. Kat also has neck and shoulders. That's my biggest area as well. Shoulders. Yeah, it seems like a common theme is the neck and shoulders, definitely. Now let's think about why. Let's try and do the why. So go to page 2. At the top box, it gives you some examples. Is it because your desk is not ergonomically correct as far as the level? Is it because of vision problems? Is it long hours at work? Maybe your monitor's too small? Is it stress from work-peer relations? Not enough breaks? So go ahead and fill in that field on your PDF for the why. As it's important that we document the why so that we know how to solve the problem. Okay, now right below that box, you'll see a just for fun activity. Go ahead and give a sound effect to your #1 pain, and then put it into the chat area. You can feel free to play with, the fields that are on the image in the worksheet, but go ahead and put it in the chat area. So we've got erg. Mine was actually one of the examples. Mine was yowzers. Boo-boo. Yes, Lisa. Yeah, it definitely, each of our pains at work, because we're trying to be productive, so each of our pains at work actually it does have a voice. It really does. So that was the purpose of that activity. Ouch, yes. Okay, let's see. Okay, so at this point, I'm just going to turn the floor over to Kat for 1 second so I can grab a sip of water.
All right, thanks, Cheryl. GC, I just wanted to say that GC Learning Services we have 3 courses available in our marketplace from Cheryl. We have the Effective Meeting Strategies, Active Shooter Alert, Staying Safe in the Workplace, and today's webinar course, The Pain of Work, Setting Yourself Free. Today is just a small sample of what's available in the course that we do have available in the marketplace in its entirety. And I'll be emailing everyone information about these 3 courses along with a 30% discount later today to use yourself, or feel free to share it with your colleagues who weren't able to attend today's event. Also, if you have any specific training need outside of these topics, you can email me that topic directly and I'll be happy to provide course recommendations and solutions. I can be reached at info@coggno.com. Cheryl, back to you.
Thanks, Kat. Okay, so where are we at? We're going to a healthy body can only tolerate staying in a position for about 20 minutes. I bet everybody did not know that. 20 minutes. That's a medical fact. So now we need to go back to our stressor and come up with a solution. So go ahead and document your solutions, and then I will cover solutions additional that can help you. So we'll take 2 seconds to just document based on your personal stressor. Okay, so let's take a look at some of the solutions that I have, and hopefully this can, definitely help. We have some people chiming in, take more breaks. That's definitely on our list. So we're definitely going to talk about that. Learn to say no. Yes, we take on too much. So that's definitely something that we all probably should work on, definitely, in our personal and professional lives. Stretching exercises, there's tons of stretching exercises with video in the actual Pain of Work course. So if you do end up getting the course, it's fun, because you get to do the exercises along with the guy in the video. All right, so let's take a look at the first one. Our first bullet is break more often. But breaking, okay, when we say break, it also includes your eyes. It's not just your body. So our slogan throughout the entire e-learning course is break, back up or away from your desk, look away from the monitor, and walk away. You'd be surprised when your eyes start getting blurry. If you just look away from the monitor for a couple of seconds and look back, it clears up. So it's definitely something that we all deal with technology today. I'm going to give you some facts about eye fatigue really quick before we move to the next bullet. So fact number one is eye fatigue involves staring at for long periods of time at computer screens, smartphones, and video games. This type of eye fatigue is referred to as computer vision syndrome. It affects 50 to 90% of computer workers. That's a huge percentage. So you're not alone. Another thing about the eyes, why do we hold our tablet or phone so close to our eyes when we don't do that with a book? Why do we lean closer and closer to the monitor? Technology and screens really forces our eyes to work harder. And then the fact number three is digital devices may also be linked to eye fatigue because we blink less often when staring at a computer screen. Believe it or not, people usually blink about 18 times per minute to refresh the eye. However, studies show that people only blink about half as much when using a computer or other digital device. So that's a huge difference. And just kind of monitor that while you're, after you're done today, when you're looking at your screen, monitor your blinking. I guarantee you're going to notice that you're not blinking as much. It's actually fascinating. All right, so we're going to move into the next one, shape up your workspace, right? How many of you are familiar with ergonomics, right? It's ergonomics 101. It's all about the levels. Whether your desk is a standing desk, which I actually just implemented, or a sitting desk, it's all about the levels. And that's what ergonomics is about. Is your chest, leveled with the desk correctly, and your keyboard, and your eyes to the monitor? It really matters. Sometimes they even have the footrest, as you can see in this picture, so that his feet, is actually elevated a little bit. So speaking of sitting and standing, it's now time for you to go to your worksheet on page 3 and make a choice. Once you make your choice, go ahead and put it in the chat area. Sit or stand? I have a lot of people to sell on my standing desk. I'm telling you, it's amazing. It really gives me a lot of back relief. I actually switch between the sit and stand. Okay, so let's go into the time stretches. Everybody in the chat area talked about stretching. Well, the main thing is that they're timed. Okay, so again, a healthy body can only tolerate staying in one position for about 20 minutes. The e-learning course, as I said, has stretching videos that you can participate in. We can't stretch together online today, I'm sorry, but I did put together a sample stretch schedule that you can use with any day planner. So if you want to use it in Outlook or anything like that, that's perfectly fine. Your schedule is really going to be based on your job role, right? How much support you receive at work. Is it possible for you to do it every 20 to 30 minutes? So we'll cover some of the ergonomic software and apps that are out there that may be able to help you with putting together a schedule. But again, it's not just about stretching, it's about doing it on a schedule. Okay, so when you're not at work, do you treat your body nice? Okay, there's a lot of different things out there that you can do, like hot, steam saunas, massage, acupuncture, heat therapy, soaking in a tub. But we have to remember that off hours we need to treat our body nice as well. Okay, walk breaks. I see a lot of people putting their sneakers on at lunchtime and they're walking. That's wonderful. That's a great start. Groups, walking groups are great as well, on breaks and lunches. Excuse me. Support from higher ups. If you have a solution but it can't be implemented by your supervisor or manager, enough funding and so forth, we created a separate section of the e-learning course as well as the worksheet today for managers, supervisors, and business owners to help them in giving employees support with managing their pain at work that some of them don't cost a thing. So I think it's really important, that those of you who have direct reports go through some of those suggestions. Share resources and knowledge. That's always helpful. Many companies have a knowledge base on their intranet. So it's a great way to share resources and knowledge about any topic. Maybe someone in the office had a great experience with a local acupuncturist, or maybe someone heard of a woman that comes to the office to give neck massages once per week, and she's very affordable. She visits all the different offices in the building. Maybe another person has heard about some office supply store that has used office furniture, and it's a huge discount going on. So, a knowledge base can be very helpful. And then we have healthy eating, okay? It has a lot to do with the tummy zone. If you're doing takeout and sitting at your desk and you're also not breaking. So it's really important because your body is not moving and cannot digest properly. So just remember that abdominal pain and urinary tract infections are symptoms of the tummy zone. And then lastly, the key to managing your pain in your personal and professional life is work-life balance, which is our next course coming out. We don't want to be healthy or have less pain to work more. We want to have a healthy mental and physical body, right? Our mental health is important so that we can live life healthier and be happier at work, right? All right, so let's move into some of the apps and software applications that a lot of people just don't know are out there. Let's see, we have PC Work Break, Stand Up. There's another one on iTunes. It's called Ergonomics. That's the one on the right over here. These are all free. Some of them are animated, and some of them is just a pop-up timer. But it's really helpful because every 20 to 30 minutes, or however you set the timer, static images or even animations will tell you it's time for you to look away from your computer. It's time for you to back away from your desk and stand up. And it just really can be very helpful. There's a sample stretch schedule on page 4 of your worksheet, so feel free to work with that. You can manipulate that however you want, depending on your personal schedule and your job role. You can even do something in Excel if you're familiar with spreadsheets and you'd rather do something that way. But the software and the phone apps are definitely an alternative. Okay, so what may work but not at work? Okay, so we have tools that may work great but just not at work. So we have like ice packs and messy creams and prescription pills and Shih Tzu massage for our neck that puts us to sleep. Well, we can't do that at work, right? So let's look at some of the options that are affordable tools for work that work. So we have the carpal tunnel brace. I use that. It's very effective and it's great for work. if you're doing a lot of typing or using the mouse. We have the ergonomic mouse pad. I also use this as well. It actually keeps your hand raised and your wrist on the support area, so that you're not hanging your arm below the support area and causing strain. And then we also have the lumbar support chair. Some of you might have this at your desk. Some of you may have an order in for one. You know, most companies you have to place an order for special ergonomic materials. So this is definitely a helpful piece of equipment if you can get your hands on it. And then we have a monitor clip or document holder. You know, you should not be looking down at a flat paper on the desk. You should be keeping your neck and head raised at eye level, the same level as your monitor. So this, I use this. I think it's wonderful. It's like, you know, 10 bucks, and you can get it from anywhere, Office Max, Staples, but it's really helpful. So out of all the affordable tools that we talked about, minus the lumbar chair, which tool is your favorite that you find the most helpful? Go ahead and type it in the chat area. I'll wait. Does anybody use the ergonomic keyboard by any chance? Lumbar chairs. Okay, great. Split keyboard. That's what I was wondering. I have not tried that, but it looks like it keeps you from having to strain your upper arm and wrist the way that it's designed. Yes, yeah. I'm going to have to try that because it really looks like it would be more comfortable when you're typing all day. Excellent. All right, awesome. Okay, so let's move into the diaries. We're almost done for today, so we're just going to look at the diaries. And oh yeah, and definitely save. I'm just reading Judith's message. It's definitely something that can save you from having to have carpal tunnel surgery. Definitely. Okay, so the page 5 of your worksheet is going to give you the diary. Okay, so you can copy that and then use it for your own diary. Because most people type, they don't really write. If you do write, then you'd have to, hand write it into a diary. But if you're going to type it, just copy paste the entries that I've given you, and it'll get you started. So you want to look at the date, the date and time that you're doing your recording. Just make sure, because you want to compare, how long it's taking you to feel better. Okay, so what solutions you implemented each day, okay, for that week. And then we want to look at the pain zone that bothered you, right? And then we're going to look at the pain zone that didn't bother you, okay? So we're comparing what's working and what's not working as we implement some of the solutions that we talked about today. And some of the solutions from the manager PDF that they can implement in the workplace that may have helped you. Then we're going to talk about you're going to talk about the stressor that did not bother you that day, okay? And you can't name somebody's name. You can't you can't put Tom or Bob or anything like that. So what stressor did not bother you that day? Your overall feeling about your life. So we're talking about the improvement of our mental health as we implement some of these pain-free tools. And then we're going to note any support that you received that day regarding your pain. So did somebody do something for you or help you at work or ask you how you were feeling or recommend, recommend a tool or a specialist or something to you. So these are the things that you want to document in your diary and just make sure that you're monitoring it over a 2-week period, okay? Now we're going to talk about the supervisors and managers because it's up to them as well to support you, okay? Because we do want a pain-free workplace, okay? So we have a diary in the worksheet on page 6 for them to record the file. So they want to put in ideas on how to create a pain-free workplace, okay? Then they can gather that from a meeting. If they want to have a town hall type meeting, they can gather that information that way. Make sure that you're listening, okay? Put down, have a suggestion box if you don't have a meeting, but make sure that you're listening, okay, to the pain that's going on in the office and really come up with some solutions. Okay, we're doing a 1-month diary to record changes in productivity, but if you want to look at things like absenteeism and medical or workman's comp changes in, company profits or anything like that, you really need to look at an entire fiscal quarter. But I've given you the worksheet that you can use for the month. And then lastly, you want to look at lessons learned, what's working for your organization and what's not. Is funding an issue, and try and come up with some solutions that don't cost money. So implementing breaks, making sure that you're enforcing it, allowing people to stand up and walk when they need to walk, providing resource, a knowledge base or resource area like we talked about before. So things like that. Before we wrap up today, I'm testing you here. I want to see if you can remember the slogan for setting yourself free from the pain of work. So if you can remember it, type in the chat area. Okay, it starts with break, and then what's the rest of it? See, I'm testing you now. Everybody's lost on this one. So break. Okay, there you go. Back up, back away. What else? Don't forget the eyes. What else do we need to do? Look away, exactly. And walk away. Excellent. Excellent. Everybody passes. Kat has cookies for everybody. I'm just kidding. Kat, we're going to go into Q&A.
All right, excellent. All right, so if you have any questions that you wanted to ask Cheryl about today's webinar, feel free to to use the chat feature, and Cheryl will be happy to answer those questions.
Oh.
Okay, actually, Cheryl, I have one that came in. It's someone who's not able to attend today.
Okay.
I'm going to send the recording, and they are looking to get a lumbar support chair, and they had asked what is a good place to find an inexpensive one.
I tell you, there are so many sites that you can buy, like trade. So it's like eBay, similar to eBay, where you can find really inexpensive used chairs, but in excellent condition. There's also a ton of office stores that actually sell used furniture from businesses that have gone under. I never knew this until I moved to Georgia a few years ago, but there are a lot of companies that sell these, and this furniture can be brand new because the company went under and they never really even used it. So, I mean, I'm sorry that they went under, but it's great. It's a great discount. Judith says Amazon is also great. Yes, I live on Amazon. Yes, definitely. So those are two really good places that I would recommend.
All right, excellent. Cheryl, also, I was wondering, are those apps free on the tablet or smartphone, or is it?
Yes, they're all free. So once you download it, you get full use of the software. It's really amazing. And like I said, some of them are just static images, but some of them are actually animations. Like the picture of the guy in the hammock, he's actually animated. So he's whistling, he's actually whistling, and he's swinging in the hammock, and he's telling you it's time to rest.
That sounds like a nice place to rest. I'm going to check that out for sure.
And then now I got to find a hammock.
Yeah. Well, you're in Florida,
gosh.
so it sounds like a great place to have a hammock once you get over the storm.
All right. Connect the two trees, and I'm good to go. Oh, wow. Judith just downloaded one.
Oh, excellent. Which one, Judith, did you download?
Which one was that? The hammock guy?
She got the good one.
Okay. That was a PC work break. That was that one.
Excellent.
And then the one on iTunes that's free is called Ergonomics.
Great. I'm going to check out the hammock one for sure. I have a question, Cheryl, that came in. I'm not sure if it shows up publicly, but it came in to me. What do you do when your employer will not support you or provide funding to help with your pain?
That's a good question. A lot of times, I
think we might have lost audio there for Cheryl for a second.
I'm here again.
There you are. There you are. Okay.
So yeah, so that's a really good question. There are ways that you can get things that you need that doesn't cost money. Okay, so again, we really need to put together groups, okay, within the office that get together and remind each other about stretching and do walk breaks. So that's something that's really easy that the company can support. Again, it has to work on, your job role, okay, and their schedule, and of course everybody has meetings, so it definitely has to be scheduled among a group that has similar responsibilities, right? Stretch sessions are great. Now, if you have a quiet room in your office, that is a great way to do just neck and shoulder, stretch sessions. The videos that are in the actual e-learning course, I learned some new neck and shoulder rolls where you actually tilt, I guess I want to say counterclockwise. And anyway, it provides a lot of relief. So if you can get together and even do stretch sessions in addition to walk breaks at lunchtime, that's great. The knowledge base is something that does not cost money if you already have an intranet up. That's something you can do, right? Or a discussion board. If you have like a board where you guys can post at your company, that's great to like share. Another thing that's great is nonprofit organizations. They have guest speakers that can come in and just talk to you about pain management, and you can have those types of things, lunchtime, like a lunch and learn, or after work. So I mean, it doesn't cost employers anything, to support or do any of these things. You just have to really listen to your employees and know that this makes them a better and happier employee, which benefits you. Another thing I want to remind everybody of is if you have an EAP or HSA program at your job, please remember that they can offer additional help and funding for some of the things that you want to do, like acupuncture or heat management. So just that's something really to keep in mind. A lot of people don't, use those services that their employer provides.
Excellent. Well, if anyone else has any other questions that you wanted to ask Cheryl, feel free to enter those into chat. I don't have any others pending at this time, Cheryl, so if I happen to get any later, I'll email those to you, and you can address those via email to the folks.
Well, I just wanted to just say a special thank you to you, Kat, for allowing me to speak on your platform. My goal is that all of our courses can somehow touch each person's life and make them happier and healthier in their private and professional lives.
Oh, well, it was our pleasure to have you, and I personally learned a lot. So I've got some walking away to do and stretching and such like that. So thank you so much. It was such an informative session.
You're welcome. Thanks.
All right. Well, I do want to thank everyone again for attending today's Coggno webinar series event. Please be on the lookout for the email that I'll be sending later today, tomorrow at the latest, aiming for later today. That's going to have a list of all of the courses available from GC Learning Services, and it'll include a 30% off and a link to this recording of today's webinar on our YouTube channel, so you can share that and with anyone that wasn't able to attend, and you can listen back to it yourself. So also, please make use of my email, info@coggno.com. Any questions you have about any sort of training solutions or needs or wanting to sign up for the Training University, please email me and I'll definitely get you all set up with that. Cheryl, thank you so much again for joining today, and everyone, I hope to see you at a future Coggno webinar event series. Have a great day.